What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea Thomas, and this channel is called Chelsea Gets Healthy that I just started on a whim. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit today about me and about my story, how I've been trying to get healthy for almost 30 years now, or about 30 years now. So yeah, let's get into it. So let me start off. First of all, I am a high school librarian and news broadcast teacher. I love my job. I'm a wife and a mom of an amazing 2.5-year-old little boy. And I live a great life. I really do. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I am in the South of Mississippi, where everybody thinks it's horrible, but I promise it's not. It's amazing. Come visit. I promise everybody will feed you and be kind to you. But yeah, so I've always been chubby. I was always a chubby kid. Well, I say that was a chubby kid. I'll put up pictures. But I really started to realize that I look different from other kids at about 5 years old. I also sing and dance, or I did my whole life, and I was in a performing arts group when I was 5 years old until I was in high school. But my very first remembrance of being bigger than other kids was when we were getting fitted for our outfits, our costumes for my performing arts group, and another little girl told me that we had to change from our crop tops to a full coverage top because I was too fat to wear it, and that I was embarrassing everybody else because I was too fat to wear the crop tops that had been our costumes. And I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I went on to have many other encounters like that throughout growing up. I mean, kids are mean on the playground. One of my best friend's grandfathers used to tell me whenever we would go be around him, he'd be like, what are they feeding that girl? What are they feeding her? She's huge. And looking back, I was not, and that was very, very ugly of him. But yeah, so I've always been a chubby kid. Actually, the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, I was a cheerleader 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, and then I was on dance team 10th, 11th, 12th. So I was always very active. Like I said, I spent my whole life dancing competitively. So the summer between 8th and 9th grade, when I was I was going on to the high school cheerleading squad, I didn't want to be embarrassed in my cheerleading uniform. So my dad and I would wake up at 6 o'clock every morning before he had to go to work during the summer, and we would run. And then I would go to cheerleading practice, and I would come home, and I ate better. I remember going on my first diet in like 7th grade, maybe even before that, actually. I think I did Weight Watchers with my mom in elementary school. 7th grade, I did Atkins, and it just continued from there. I did lose a lot of weight between 8th and 9th grade, and I started to get attention from people, and people were amazed, and they didn't even recognize me. When school started back in 9th grade, it really was like this, adolescent movies where everybody changes over the summer. I really did look like a different person. So as I went through high school, I always thought I was huge. I wasn't huge. I was in great shape. I wish I could be that size again now. But I thought I was gigantic. But I didn't let it stop me from doing what I wanted to do. And then dance ended my senior year, and I didn't have plans of dancing in college, and I started to gain weight, and I started to develop an eating disorder. That had been a long time coming because of everything I'd gone through with adults telling me I was fat and that I was huge growing up when I was little, and it just had been internalized for a long time. And there were some other things that were going on in my life that caused me to restrict what I was eating and then to binge and purge. And so yeah, I struggled with that for a lot longer than I'd like to admit. Let's see. So I stopped purging when I was a freshman in college, as I continued to gain weight and gain weight and gain weight. And I guess I was probably close. Last time I remember my freshman year of college, I remember weighing 211 pounds. So it was not fun. I was embarrassed. I was in a sorority, and I loved that, but I looked different than the other girls. And then my sophomore year of college, I got wrapped up in a really, really terrible relationship. That's a story for another day, but it did lead me into more disordered eating habits, to weight loss drugs, where I eventually lost about 70 pounds. Now, I needed to lose some weight. By the time I had gotten on those weight loss drugs, I was 220 something pounds. I'm 5'7", so I lost 70 pounds. I got out of that awful relationship and got into a relationship with my husband, current husband now, and he was not going to let me hurt myself like that, and I got help for an eating disorder, and have been in recovery since I was about 21 years old, which is great, and he saved my life, but I kept the weight off. I needed to keep the weight off because I had been overweight. So I kept the weight off and have been happy and healthy ever since, until I got pregnant 3 years ago. And man, I just really took that as a free-for-all, eat whatever I wanted to, Oreos when I wanted it, the unhealthy Subway sandwiches when I wanted it. And I stopped looking at the scale towards the end of my pregnancy, but I think I was somewhere around 250, 260. I came home from the hospital at 236 pounds and just started gaining again. And I was very active and ate healthy before that. I had been a vegan before I got pregnant, but I could not stomach a vegetable when I was pregnant. I remember calling my husband. I got pregnant in June, so it was August, in the middle of my first trimester, and I called him and I was like, the only thing that sounds good is Chick-fil-A. What do I do? So I was not vegan throughout my pregnancy, and I have not been vegan since. But I just could not stop gaining. I went back to trying to lose weight and keep it off. I mean, I know how to lose weight. I know how to keep it off. So I was exercising. I'm more active than I'd ever been with a baby and then a toddler. But I just kept gaining weight until finally March 12th of this year, I looked at the scale and I was at 260 pounds. And that was also after this past Christmas. I was at an amusement park with my family, and I tried to get on a roller coaster, a wooden roller coaster. And I love roller coasters. I love rides, adrenaline junkie, that's me. And the seatbelt didn't fit. And so I couldn't ride it, and I was embarrassed in front of my entire family. And March 12th, when around the time that quarantine really kicked off and started, I was like, I have to do something. Back up a little, back in November, I had seen my primary care physician because I just didn't feel like myself. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't lose weight. I had tried all these different things since I was not pregnant anymore, and nothing worked. So I went to see him, and I told him, I said, I know it's hard for women to get their pregnancy weight off, but like, I've just tried everything and nothing is working. So he looked at me, and he's very kind and understanding, and I love him. And he looked at me, and he's like, things just get harder and whatever. And I was like, I know that, but something is wrong. I do not feel right. Something's wrong. And I was right. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and I suspect I have Hashimoto's as well. I have been to one endocrinologist. I was not happy with them. I'm waiting on being referred to another endocrinologist to check on that. But I knew something was wrong. I knew my body, and I knew something was wrong. So I've been dealing with that. In March, I just looked at myself, and I was so disgusted with what I saw in the mirror, and I knew something had to change. So I started working really hard from home. Now, I didn't weigh myself again, and I didn't take measurements until April 30th. So I have no idea what my exact starting numbers were. But I finally got on the scale again, and I started to see a little progress in April 30th. Then I had gotten on TikTok, and if you don't have TikTok or you've been living underneath a rock, there's a challenge that a lot of people have done on TikTok called 75 Hard. 75 Hard is a program that was created by the First Form supplement company, their CEO and founder, Andy Frisella, to build mental toughness. It's not even about health or weight loss. It's to build mental toughness. Now, I'm an Enneagram 7. I don't know if you know anything about the Enneagram. If you don't, you should look it up and study it. It is a fantastic way to get to know yourself and to get to know the ones around you and how you can better interact and love the ones around you. So I'm an Enneagram 7. That is the enthusiast. They love everything positive, don't want to think about anything negative, adrenaline junkie, like I said. I'm really, really good at ideas and excitement, not good at follow through. So I was like, I feel like this is something I need in my life. My whole family thought I was crazy, but they supported me. And so on June 22nd, after I've been working hard since March to lose weight, but only lost about 8 pounds, I think, I started 75 Hard. So 75 Hard is just a set of loose, broad instructions for you to follow every single day. So you have to work out twice a day, every day. It cannot be back to back. Has to be 45 minutes long, and one of them has to be outside. Now, it doesn't specify what kind of exercise you have to do. You can do it for a walk. You can do yoga. You can do, like hardcore hit training. You can do whatever you want to. It doesn't matter. It's not specified. You just have to do it. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. You have to follow some sort of diet. So up until this point, it doesn't specify what diet you do, but up until this point, I have been counting calories. And I wasn't doing horrible, but like I said, I lost about 7 pounds in 3 months, which that's good. That's good. Slow progress is still progress. But after a couple of weeks of doing that on 75 Hard, I decided that I wanted to kick it up a notch. And so I went full keto and even have gone as far as carnivore now. I'm more of a ketovore. I like to keep my total carbs under 20 when I do eat keto. I don't count net carbs. I count total carbs. And so that's what I've been following for my diet. I love it, y'all. I love it. I know it's the opposite of veganism, but it just works so well for me. I have more energy. I feel better. I chose it because a lot of thyroid patients are prescribed this diet to help balance their hormones and insulin spikes and that kind of thing. And it has done wonders for me. It really has. I love it. The next thing you have to do on 75 Hard is read 10 pages of a nonfiction book a day. And then, let's see, what am I missing? Oh, and you must take a progress picture every day. So, and no alcohol. So if you have any cheat day, any cheats, any alcohol, if you miss an ounce of water, if you miss 2 minutes off a workout, no matter what, you have to start over at day 1. I'm on day 36. I started that, and it has changed my life. It's changed my life. I've never been someone who has been super disciplined at anything, especially if I wasn't already good at it. And it just, wow, y'all. I mean, granted, since March, it's not that different from my normal life yet. I was working out for an hour and a half a day anyway, but now I have to separate them. I was eating healthy, but now I was having some cheat days here and there, so it's really dialed my nutrition in. Reading, I've learned, I'm a librarian, and this is embarrassing to admit, but I had not physically read a book since my kid was born. And now I'm almost finished my 3rd book, and it's such a good feeling. I'm so proud of myself. I'm incredibly proud of myself. I have now lost 18 pounds and 19 inches. I've gone down almost 2 pant sizes. I went shopping this past week because, when you just gain weight over time, you kind of have some clothes to go back down into unless you got rid of them all. But I was pregnant, so I didn't have any clothes to go back down into. So my sweet mom, for my birthday, I turned 30 last week. My mom took me shopping for some new clothes that I desperately needed, and it was super exciting to get to buy some smaller sizes. So yeah, that's where I am. God is teaching me a lot through all this. I'm a super spiritual person. I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and He's just really been teaching me a lot through this. And you may not resonate with this, and that's okay. But when I lost 70 pounds years ago, I did it in a terribly unhealthy way. I was a sick girl, and it took a lot of counseling and hard work for me to overcome those days. But God told me that He wasn't going to let me do it without Him this time. And so, and then I needed to trust completely in Him, that this is about building a relationship and strengthening my relationship with Him and becoming more disciplined to better His kingdom. It wasn't about me this time. So it's all His. It's all His. The weight loss, wherever He wants me to go with this, wherever He wants me to go with this channel. It's all about that for me. It's about creating discipline. It's about showing my child that you should take care of yourself and that he is worth it. And just to set an example for my future children too. I want more kids, and I couldn't do that at 260 pounds. I couldn't come out of another pregnancy weighing over 300 pounds. I couldn't do that to myself. So this is my journey. This is where I am so far. If you've stuck around this long, I'm so glad that you have. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comments below. I will put the links to Andy Frizella's website and About 75 Hard. His podcast is also fantastic. It is not child friendly though. He likes to cuss. So if that offends you, or if that is something that you want to listen to, just be warned that you don't want to listen to that with your kids in the car, or your grandma or something. But yeah, so that's where we are. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about my story, and if you resonate with any of this, let me know in the comments and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.